treatment group differently than the control group. Like, are you sure you don't feel better? That kind of stuff. Um, of course, somebody knows. Somebody's kept track of who gets what, otherwise the experiment would be bogus. Here is my cat. Some cat paws for you, just for your happiness. Right there. She's a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yeah. Her name is Sparkles. Okay, down you get. All right, there are 6 ways to select a sample. We're going to do an example next to each one. The first one is called simple random. That's when you assign everybody a number. And pick randomly. Most cold calling services do this. This is what I do when I'm picking people to come up and share an answer at the board or to win a prize. Although calculators and human beings cannot technically be truly random, but there is a pseudo-randomizing thing in there that will make that happen. Stratified is when you divide your sample into groups based on a characteristic. This can be something like age, wealth level, gender, anything like that. You can be like, oh, I want an equal amount of girls and boys in this group, so stratified. Cluster is when you pick a sample based on location. Like if you say, I want to know, how many people eat green beans in this zip code, but I'm going to go around to this one block and ask everybody on that block. Or if you wanted to know, like, how everybody felt about the school lunches, but people only went to Mr. Hernandez's classroom and asked people there. That would be a cluster sample. It's just a cluster of people all in one location. And you ask everybody in that location. Systematic is like every nth person is asked. By nth, I mean like you could, this like traffic stops. Maybe they'll stop every 10th person they see. Maybe they'll ask every 5th person they see walking down a street, that kind of thing. Convenience, this is bad. This is when you ask whoever is convenient. This is like asking your friends for a study, because if you ask if they're all your friends, then they might all feel the same way about something. So that's a bad choice. A census is when you ask everyone, which is why it's not a sample, it's a population. Okay, so you are going to try these 2 with your partner right now. Just the partner I gave you yesterday, or actually, you're all probably going at different paces, so just try it on your own. Example 1 and example 2, pause the video and try them right now. Pause. Actually, pause. Pause the video. Okay. Example 1 was cluster. That was picking a class and then questioning every student in that class that's based on location. And you assign each kid a number, and then you question every 25th student. That's systematic. Okay, to do a random sample using your calculator, you're going to write these directions down, so pause after every direction if you need to. Turn on your calculator, hit the math button, which is right here under the green. You should be writing this down. Math. And then go over to probability, which is the 4th choice. Write that down too. And then go down to the 5th one, random integer. This is how I select people in my classes. And for random integer, you're going to put in your low number, your high number, and then how many you want. So it's random integer, low, high, and then how many answers you want. So let's say there's 10 of you right now. Let's all try it. So grab a graphing calculator. If you don't have one, go get one. All right. 1, comma, 10, comma, let's say I wanted 5 people. So I've got my first person, my 10th person. That's 1 to 10. That's my range. And then I want 5 answers back. So I got 3, 8, 10, 3, and 4. Notice that you can have repeats in this. So if you really wanted 5 people, it might be smarter to just say I want 8 numbers and then pick the first 5 that are different. In this case, it would be 1, 10, 2, 6, and 9 for me. All right, a census is usually a count of a population. Sometimes this includes demographics. They do this once every 10 years in the United States, which is when they change the numbers on the sign of like the city of Lewiston, how many people live there and stuff like that. A sampling error is when you ask the wrong people. You're asking in a good way, but you're asking the wrong people. An example for this would be like going outside of a Republican convention and asking, who would you vote for like a presidency? You're not going to get, you're basically asking a bunch of Republicans, because probably only Republicans are going to be at the Republican convention, or at least most of them will be. And so they're probably going to answer that they would vote for the Republican candidate. And then if you publish that about your whole population, that implies that everybody would vote for them, which is not necessarily true. So biased questioning is when you ask a question in a leading way. Like, if you wanted to know, do you like dogs? That is not a biased question. That's just asking somebody if they like dogs. But here's an example of a biased question. If I said, do you really like dogs? Just by adding the word really in there, that implies that I don't like dogs. Do you really like dogs? Or maybe if you said it in a different way, do you really like dogs? You know, like, I mean, just saying it a different way, adding a word in, like really. You can also, if you said, like, somebody, like, what's your favorite ice cream? They would, flavor of ice cream, they just answer. But if you said, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Is it strawberry? Then they're thinking about strawberry. So you're probably going to get a lot more people who are going to answer strawberry than wouldn't. This is the homework that is due tomorrow. It is on section 1.3.